Ladies, gentlemen, and Westernites alike, you're listening to yet another episode from the Western Reviews podcast. I'm your host, The Western Wonder, and today I'll be covering a film sequel to a film adaptation of one of the most successful, popular video game franchises in history. It only feels like yesteryear when people were ripping Paramount Pictures to shreds over their original lackluster character design, but now, in the year of Coronapox 2022, 2 years after releasing one of the highest grossing movies worldwide, thanks in part to the pandemic, the old blue furball returned to the cinema. That's right, folks. Sonic the Hedgehog released a highly anticipated sequel earlier this year. The reason for said anticipation is because of new yet recognizable character faces from the franchise. Plain and simple. Those introductions will be brought up in my review shortly. So take a listen to the trailer and I'll return to my review.
These rings signify the commitment.
So help me, Thomas!
Sorry. Life or death situation, I need you to use the ring to save me, like right now.
Oh my God.
Oh boy. Hawaii.
I just hope we're not too late.
Oh Lord, there are two of them now. What's happening?
Okay, quick version. Robotnik is back.
I discovered the source of ultimate power.
We need to get it back or the world is doomed.
You rock some kind of space porcupine.
I am an echidna warrior.
Hedgehog. It's time to say goodbye to humanity.
Welcome to the new norm.
This is your moment to be the big hero.
Bad time to say this, but I don't actually have a plan. Hey, you got a little something on your... belly?
Someone call an Uber? It's cold in here. Let's turn up the heat.
Oh, great, the Winter Soldier. Fear not, citizen.
You are terrible at this.
Your negative attitude is not helping.
We stick together, no matter what.
You're unskilled, untrained, unworthy.
You forgot one. Unstoppable.
Stand still and die.
For a guy named Knuckles, you are really bad at punching.
And we're back. Just a warning that this review will feature some spoilers for those that haven't seen the movie yet. Somehow, some way. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the plot. After saving the world and fighting the bad guy, plus getting hundreds of millions of dollars on the side during the pandemic, you expect Sonic, voiced by Ben Schwartz, to take a little vacation somewhere. But you thought wrong. The heroic arc never ends for the old hedgehog, despite leaving trails of damages and chaos behind him. And I'm not talking emeralds. See what I did there? The chaos. Emeralds. Anyway, Sonic, using one of his rings, gets his human friend or practically father figure, Tom, played by James Marsden, and his wife Maddie, played by Tika Sumpter, a free one-way trip to Hawaii to support Maddie's sister Rachel, played by Natasha Rothwell, on their wedding day. While they're away, Sonic throws a house party alone, basically living his best life. Until those non-stop partying plans are abruptly interrupted when Sonic's old foe, Dr. Robotnik, aka Eggman, played by Jim Carrey, returns to planet Earth to wreak havoc with the help of a new villain sidekick, Knuckles, the echidna, voiced by Idris Elba, joining him in search of the Chaos Emeralds and the destruction of Sonic. Looks like it's up to the Hedgehog, accompanied by Tails, the new sidekick, well, at least the casual movie-going crowds that don't know Sonic characters, to save the world, or town, from mass destruction at the hands of Eggman. Starting off my thoughts regarding the storyline, I do appreciate that the film gives the human characters some plot-moving things to do. Well, most of them anyways. I felt like the only piece of the movie that dragged on too long were the scenes between Eggman sidekick Agent Stone and the police officer friend of Tom's. Thankfully, they don't take too much off the story time, but it still felt like a drag to me. Certain scene standouts include a segment involving Sonic, Tails, and a group of Siberians who end up engaging in a dance-off, and Rachel's wedding scene, which, plot twist, turns out to be a government plot to abduct Sonic and the gang. And one of the federal masterminds happens to be Rachel's fiancé Randall, played by former Criminal Minds star and Tyler Perry Wig Factory Hall of Famer Shemar Moore. This same group of feds actually seem to connect another conflict-based storyline set to happen in the forthcoming third Sonic movie, which is briefly mentioned during a post-credits scene. It was wild to me that this hilarious in nature part of the movie connects the dots to the next flick, but it's a bit of a fit. Now, more on this scene when I get to the characters. Regarding the humor, it's the usual mix of funny one-liners, pop culture references, and callbacks to various Sonic video games for the hardcore fans that were featured in the first Sonic movie, only this time it goes even harder. And it's more humorous than its predecessor, something rare for comedy sequels, at least for me. One pop culture line that took me aback and cracked me up came from Carrey's Eggman, who in the scene near the climax turns on Knuckles by calling him as useless as a backstage pass to a Limp Bizkit concert. It's even funnier after recently viewing a documentary about the disastrous Woodstock concerts that occurred in the late 90s on Netflix, with said concerts featuring Limp Bizkit as one of the headliners that the promoters hope will promote peace, love, and solidarity. Some other funny bits will be mentioned down the line momentarily. But I'd like to quickly shout out the visual effects squads for going above and beyond with the visuals depicted in the action sequences. Colors galore. Lots of blue for Sonic, obviously. Lots of red lights for Knuckles, and lots of green for Eggman, especially during the final battle sequence that takes place near the climax of the movie. Finally, regarding the characters. Sonic is still a childlike, naive, yet heroic character who does show growth here by realizing the damage he's causing after fighting crime and trying to rectify it in the process. Papa Tom and wife take a backseat in screen time but are helpful in building the family dynamic between the two and Sonic. Robotnik, aka Eggman, also takes a backseat in some screen time by letting the new sidekick villain, or in his words, his BFFAE, short for bestest friend forever and ever, take charge. He still provided plenty of humorous moments, however, whether it was the scene where he first introduces Sonic to Knuckles when Sonic presumed he came to battle alone, or commentating their battle while heading up to grab the Chaos Emeralds. Jim Carrey is a heavyweight in these movies, and it is nice seeing him going back to his 90s era roots. Knuckles? Oh, poor Knuckles. Presumed that his genuine melodramatic monologues about his heritage and upbringings would be taken seriously by Sonic the Hedgehog. It was funny watching him take everything so seriously though, and then trying to let loose and have fun at the end, but even then he tries to make things competitive. Idris Elba did a great job voicing him. Tails was a fun sidekick, and hopefully we'll get some more story-driven highlights with him and Sonic in movie 3. And last but not least, Rachel, Maddie's sister, was another humorous bit in the movie. See the scene here when the feds revealed themselves.
You mean to tell me that this entire wedding was a setup?
Rachel, wait a minute.
That's correct, ma'am. Every single aspect of Operation Catfish was a complete fabrication.
Operation Catfish? So is everyone here an agent? Are you an agent? Son of a... Was the florist an agent? How about the photographer? The woman who waxed my... at the spa? Is JoJo an agent?
Rachel.
What?
Rachel, look, listen to me.
I'm done listening! I am done listening!
And also her reactions after experimenting with Sonic's gadgets made for the funniest scenes with the human characters. All around, when it comes down to ratings, it's a yee-haw-tastic, or a 10 out of 10 rating for me. Nothing but fun and action done right, and a well done sequel at that. I would have to agree with those that say that Sonic the Hedgehog has one of the best film adaptations based off a video game of all time. I cannot wait to see what they do in movie 3 with Sonic's next enemy. And that wraps up the review. If you're interested in the upcoming slate of reviews on my podcast, there's more to come down the line as I finish up this line of summer movie reviews. Expect the following movies: Day Shift, Jamie Foxx's new vampire hunting movie on Netflix; Prey, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul, and more. To get updates, be sure to follow my show on the social pages, whether on Twitter at reviews_western or on my Instagram page at Western Reviews Official. And as always, subscribe to the show wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm the Western Wonder, and I hope to catch you all on the flip side of the Chaos Emeralds, as I'm ring catching and signing out.
Bye, have a great time.